Good day to our panelists. Today we are to present to you our research proposal entitled Online Learning and Learning Outcomes of Hospitality Management Students of City College of Calapan amidst COVID-19 pandemic. Before we formally start, I am Ella May Epsangkopan together with my co-researchers, Mr. Caraig and Mr. Mendoza. Chapter 1 includes the background of the study, statement of the problem, significance of the study, and the scope and the limitation. Background of the study. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most of schools around the world were forced to shut down and the traditional ways of learning are still not allowed to prevent the spread of virus. City College of Calapan implemented online learning to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic as the institution is one of the affected schools in the Philippines. In online learning, students learn in a pure online environment. Teachers and students have their engagement in online platforms where teachers teach and give activities here and students pass their work on time. According to Top Hat, online instruction is where students and instructor connect via technology to study lectures, submit homework, and engage with one another in an online learning environment. Learning experiences that are adequately planned and conducted by skilled instructors are essential for effective training. According to University of Toronto, learning outcomes are statements that explain the knowledge or abilities that students should have at the end of specific course, class, or program. Statement of the problem. What is the status of online learning in terms of A. Social presence, B. Teacher's presence, C. Cognitive presence? What is the level of learning outcomes of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students in terms of A. Knowledge and B. Skills? Is there a significant relationship between online learning and learning outcomes of hospitality management students amidst pandemic? Significance of the study. This research study would be a great help to the following: Commission on Higher Education, or CHED. The result of this study will be beneficial to the Commission on Higher Education because they will be informed about the learning outcomes of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students and online pedagogy and impart a measure if the result of the study shows that the online learning does not give a positive result in learning outcomes of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students. City College of Calapan. Given the data result of the study, the institution would be able to assess if the utilization of online learning gives a positive result in learning outcomes of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students and determine whether this method needs improvement and another innovation to meet learning outcomes. Teachers. This study will help them adjust and adapt in their learning materials and approach in teaching to meet the learning outcomes of students. Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students. The result of this study will help them to have proper and effective learning materials for them to learn and gain skills based on the learning outcomes. And limitation. This study will be undertaken with the main purpose of determining the online learning and learning outcomes of hospitality management students during the academic year of 2021 to 2022 first semester. On the other hand, this study is limited by selected hospitality management students, second year and third year specifically at the City College of Calapan during the academic year 2021 to 2022.
Chapter 2 present RRLS, which is review-related literature and review-related studies, as well as theoretical framework and conceptual framework. RRL. Based on Dr. John Taylor 2020, online learning is education that takes place over the internet. This can be subdivided into asynchronous online courses that do not take place in real time and synchronous online courses in which teacher and student interact online simultaneously. According to Chantal Rodi 2017, instructor presence remains a critical factor in all modes of online study, and particularly so intensive online environments, where instructors need to work to establish and maintain student engagement. Pedagogical approaches need to account for learner competencies, characteristics, and prepared learning approaches. An accurate pedagogical approach, relevant, realistic tasks, and proper tools and technology were all important factors in building effective online learning environments. To help students shift into sudden changes brought about by the health crisis, distance learning methods have become part of the new normal in education. Furthermore, modern systems such as online learning are currently being adopted in hopes to help address the top education in the Philippines. While Liu 2021 states that Generation Z has a more favorable attitude towards cutting-edge technology equipment, the internet, and the social media than previous generations. As a result, they are more at ease and prepared for the unexpectedly imposed online learning environment. Julie Gray 2016 defines studies have shown that courses organization and structure, student engagement, learner interaction, and instructor presence have accounted for considerable variance in student satisfaction and perceived learning in online learning environments through the range of pathways. According to the study of Chuan Nguyen 2015, there is robust evidence to suggest online learning is generally at least as effective as the traditional format. As well as the study of Mason Seng, online learning during the pandemic could achieve similar or better learning outcomes than face-to-face learning before the pandemic. Learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are the intended outcomes of the course in terms of what a learner will know, understand, and be able to demonstrate once the course is completed. It is critical that the effectiveness of the course delivered is measured. According to the study of Teromini Subramaniam 2019, an education program's goals is to enable students to successfully complete the program's objectives. Courses within program can be effectively match a program outcomes. As a result, the achievement of the course learning outcomes can be used to determine the program success.
Theoretical framework. Community of inquiry. Advocate, assert that certain elements are crucial for a successful online experience in higher education. It has three dimensions: social presence, teaching presence, and cognitive presence. Social presence refers to the student-to-student relations and interaction or group dynamics. Teacher presence is the design and implementation of the curriculum as facilitated by the teacher. Cognitive presence refers to the extent to which the participant in any particular configuration of a community of inquiry are able to construct meaning through sustained communication. Conceptual framework. In this, you can see our independent variables and dependent variables. On the left box, it is the independent variable, which is the status of online learning in terms of social presence, teacher presence, and cognitive presence. While on the right side, it is our dependent variable, which is the level of learning outcomes of BSHM student in terms of knowledge and skills. Lastly, the double-headed arrow shows the relationship of the existing variables. Chapter 3 presents our research design, methods of data collection, research instrument, population of the study, and a statistical treatment of data. Research design. This quantitative study employed descriptive correlational design, wherein it described the variables and the relationship that occur naturally between and among them. Methods of data collection. To collect all the data and information necessary for a thorough analysis and interpretation of the variables in this study, the researcher will construct an online survey or questionnaire using Google Forms. Link will be posted in the BSHM page or sent out to the official group chat of BSHM or personal message to the respondent of the study. As we reach the target response, the link will be no longer available. Research instrument. To achieve the desired outcome of this study, the researcher will employ survey questionnaire with a variety of questions focusing on the specified topic. Statistical treatment of data. The data collected in this study will be treated statistically using descriptive statistics such as mean and ranking. For test-retest, presence-product moment correlation was used. The following formulas were used in this study.